Hey, today I'm gonna do a quick comparison with the Keppi and the finer form adjustable benches here, show you all the similarities and differences and overall which one I prefer. So first off, this Keppi bench I've had for about 2 years now, whereas this one I've only had for about a month, but I'm gonna show all the different features, differences, and overall which one I prefer. Now let's first talk about the assembly process. This one was a lot more complicated because it came in a lot more pieces, whereas the Keppi was almost all put together besides a couple things. So it was a lot easier to assemble. It maybe took about 20 minutes, whereas this one took about 45 minutes or so. But the assembly wasn't too bad for either of them. Now let's also go over the similarities. So they both have different positions for the seat. This one has 4 positions for the seat and I have it on the third one. This one has 3 positions and I have it on the middle one. Now there also are different positions for the leg or footrests, and this one has 3 and then this one has 4. So another thing, or I'd say another difference, is this one has these foot pads right here so that you can do exercises such as good mornings or any hamstring or any back extension. And the way you would do it is you'd set your feet here, have your thighs resting against these pads, have your hands on the handles here, and then you go forward. But since I have it in the incline, you can't go all the way down, so I'll show you later when it's in a flat position or the decline position. Now this one has 8 different adjustments going up from a completely upright and all the way down to a flat position and even a decline position at the lowest one. Now the difference for actually adjusting this is a knob system versus the other one, which is like a ladder system. An important thing to know, really important, is you need to tighten this knob every time you adjust it. And then, so if I want to pull it out and loose or change the setting, you have to twist it to the left to go ahead and loosen it up, just like so. And then you can go ahead and pull on it and then adjust it. So I'm gonna just go change it to one position lower. I'm doing this with one hand, and then you wanna really make sure it's tight in position, because I've had it collapse on me once before when I didn't have it tightened, and I'll talk about that right now. So I was using it with my cable machine, just in an incline position, not a super incline, maybe the one that I had it before, and I was just doing a lightweight chest incline cable flies. So I was using it with my cable machine, and when I was squeezing at the top position, it wasn't tightened on there and it dropped down by one position. So that was very dangerous, because if you're using heavy weight and you just have a quick adjustment like that, that can be very dangerous. So I was very thankful that it was a very lightweight, and it really was a tough lesson, or a lesson, super important lesson to learn about how you need to tighten it when you change the position. Otherwise, it's not secure in whatever position it is. It might collapse on you like it did for me. So be very, very careful with that. And because of that, I don't use this for heavy weights now. I typically only use it for low weight and mostly for just seated positions on my cable machine. Whereas before I was using it for benching like 225 and doing other heavyweight things. And now I'm too scared to go back to that. So now I use other benches like this one for that. So this one has about 8 adjustments as well, and it can go into a decline, or I'm gonna show you the flat position. One thing when you adjust it to the flat position as well is there's an extra bar right here that will help secure it. And the way you do that is you pull this knob to loosen it and it'll come out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, so let's see. Get it down to this low position, and then you basically just line it up like that. And there you go. Now you can see this adds stability to the headrest and just makes it more stable. You could probably use it without it, but for that extra security, definitely recommend using that bar. And for any like heavier movements, definitely recommended. Now this seat adjusts as well, and now I'm gonna go back and show you like what I was showing before with like the good mornings. So with a lower position like this, I'll typically be holding on to weights, and then you can go down and up, and it's a fantastic exercise for your hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. You can also remove this pad, so you can go ahead and loosen it, kind of like the other one. Loosen it and then pull it, and then you can pull this pad completely out, or you can turn it around. If you're using it for any type of ab exercises, you can also lay this flat and have your feet up and do tons of different variations with it. So overall, there's a lot that you can do with this finer form, and it's been fantastic. I've loved it so far. The Keppi has been great, but because of those scares, I definitely don't use it as much. And another thing, for the mobility and moving it, this one has wheels, which is super nice and makes it very easy to move around. It's a little bit heavier than the Keppi. The Keppi has this little handle in the middle that you can lift it up by, so you can like carry it by this if you want. It's not gonna make it like super easy. It's gonna kind of move around a lot, but make it a little bit easier as you're moving it. So overall, my preference is the finer form adjustable bench.